Welcome back to the next video in the copper chain making series that we're working on. Today we're going to be looking at making the box pattern, which looks a little something like this, where we link the rings in a way so that they sort of hold themselves together like that, and when you put tension on it, it kind of creates this really interesting pattern. Let's take a look. In the last video, we showed you how to make some jump rings using wire strippers, some copper wire, and a piece of metal or doweling to wrap the wire around to make the jump rings. We'll just take a look at that quickly. Strip the wire until you have a few long pieces of copper. Once you have a bunch of pieces made, wrap it around your doweling in a nice tight spiral like that. Loosen a little bit, pull off the end, separate slightly, and then use side cutters to cut out the jump rings. Just cut straight across the spiral from one end to the other, like that. Once you have a nice little pile of rings, you can get started on the chain. Now the box pattern can seem tricky at first, but once you get the idea of how it goes together, then it becomes a little bit more straightforward. So we're going to start off by just doing a single ring with a double, and then another double attached to those two, so that we have 5 rings, almost like we were doing the 3 and 2 pattern, except that we just did a single starting ring, and then a double and a double, so that it looks like this. So now comes the tricky part, is the first little link pattern here. So we've got our single and our double and our double, and what we want to do is fold the second pair back like that, and open up the first pair, and then put our paper clip through those like that, and then attach it to our elastic on the other side. And that is our first link of that pattern. So I just want to show that one more time very close up. So we have our single ring there, we have our first double and our second double. We're going to push the first double back. We're going to open up here, and then we're going to take our paper clip and we're going to link that through that second set of rings and sort of pull them through the first set to make like a little ball. So the next step is to loop 2 more pairs of rings onto that little ball that you've already created. So we're going to loop 2 onto the same 2 rings that the paper clip is attached to at the moment. And then we're going to go 2 more rings through the new pair that we just attached. So I have another new 4 rings. Every sort of set that we do here is going to be 4 rings at a time. So I just have to go through there with my pliers, close those up. So now I have my next set of 4 rings. I've got 2 here and 2 here. So now we just have to open them the same way we did before. Like I said, it's a little tricky and fiddly, but we're going to unhook our paper clip. I'm going to hold tension on the last 2. I'm going to fold the second 2 rings back. I'm going to open up that first set of rings, and then I'm going to use my paper clip to grab those 2 loops and bring them through. And that's the second little box in my box pattern. And then we're just going to keep doing this over and over again. So now we have the beginning of our box pattern. I think I've just done 5 little links there. It's kind of a cool looking one. And once you get the hang of it, it's just a repetition of the same thing over and over again. One of the neat things about this one is if there's no tension on it, it kind of all goes in on itself, and then when you pull it out, it's like that. So there you go, the box pattern using jump rings. So we just finished our short little segment of the box pattern, and it looks pretty cool. Of course, you can make it as long as you like. In the next video, we're going to take a look at the butterfly pattern, which looks something like this. See you then.